And welcome back to Brighton. Half-time here, Brighton 0, Liverpool 0, place in the quarter-final of the EFL Cup up for grabs, as you can see. Brighton are going to make a change. Pervis Stupinian. He's going to come on here, presumably to play at left-back. And Arne Slot makes his way out as well. General feeling, Stuart Robson, about who the happier coach must be at the moment?
I think both will be quite happy with their defensive displays, but not particularly happy with some of their attacking play. As we saw from the stats, only a couple of shots on target for Liverpool, only one for Brighton. That Lamptey chance just needs a little bit more creativity and better decision-making in the top third of the field from both teams.
Well, it may get there. Of course, intriguingly, Stupinian is on for Kadiolu. That's a fairly straightforward change. Yeah, Danny Welbeck potentially lies in wait here. And a Manchester United and Arsenal player put a dent in Liverpool. Good goal-scoring form at the moment. Anyway, that's for the future. Brighton with one fairly simple change. Get us back underway. It is just a Stupinian down that left-hand side for Kadiolu.
Yeah, that foot injury that he got in the first half must have been worse than we first thought. Hasn't come out for the second half. Stupinian, who loves to go in field, as he's doing now, to join in with his central midfield players and start attacks.
The Europa League winner with Villarreal, Pervis Stupinian. And from Ecuador, Brighton on the back foot. Straight away here, great hit! What a strike! Cody Gakpo, who is the man for this competition and who sparks Liverpool right at the start of the second half. That is a screamer!
Well, he had a warm-up in the first half with one. There's the ball played forward. Morton does well and just plays it in behind the fullback. And Gakpo does the rest, just chops it onto his right foot, and look at that for a finish. Does he put bend on it? No, he just hits straight through the back of the ball. No stopping that from Steele. That's a brilliant goal. Robertson helps him with the overlapping run. That's a top-class strike.
Nailed it. And how cool was the celebration? Just stood still. Touch of Zlatan about that celebration. Look at what I just did. 38 seconds into the second half. It's a nightmare as a coach. You send them out with instructions, with the best intentions. And of course they still have to carry those out, but it all feels a touch less relevant when you've just gone one down. Brighton need to be careful now, need to keep their wits about them here. Looking to respond with Enciso. Wasn't far off technically perfect, that strike as well. The way he got the ball flighted. Great, pure hit, wasn't it?
It's interesting that Lamptey was out of position. He'd gone further forward for the goalkeeper's kick. And that's where Morton won the ball back and played it straight in behind him. It was one of the midfield players that was tracking Gakpo back.
7th League Cup goal for Cody Gakpo, and one to just quieten down this place. This time tries to play the assist for Bradley. And we might have been critical on one or two occasions of Jason Steele in that first half, but let's be clear, nothing he could do about that. Lev Yashin wasn't saving that. There's a reference for our younger viewers.
I was going to say, you might need to explain that to some of our younger viewers.
Probably the best goalkeeper ever. That's the point. One of, anyway. Here goes Lamptey. Floated in towards that far post. Fabulous save. Jarosz managed to flick out his left hand to deny Adingra. But here come Brighton. What a stop that was. He was going the wrong way and then he managed to stretch back.
Good play by Lamptey down that right-hand side. Going past a couple of players, just lifts it to the far post. What a save that is. His body's going one way. It's a really good header by Adingra. But he gets his left hand on it. His left fingertips. Great save.
Team combining well. Gakpo's goal, Jarosz's wonderful save, and those ones, they seem to almost defy logic as Liverpool have given it away. Big moment for Ferguson, who can't take the chance. Wide open game all of a sudden.
Well, Gakpo loses the ball here. It's good play. Deeper wins the ball back. First touch looked quite big, but it just opens up for him here. Here's the previous chance. Lamptey doing really well. Going past Robertson, plays it into the box. I think Adingra does everything right. Heads it back from where it came from. Didn't quite get it in the corner, but that is a top-class save.
The point I was making about logic defying is he has to twist back so obviously from the direction he was going, and it's drills, isn't it? Hours and hours of drills. Yellow card.
Endo had to get a yellow card for that challenge on Gruda. Just there. He knows he's made a mistake. He thought he could win the ball. Gruda just nicks it away from him. Referee does the right thing.
As you mentioned, just struggling in the squad at the moment, Endo. Big chance for him tonight.
Shows you how much pre-season is so important to players. He had a poor pre-season tour of America. Didn't quite look fit enough. And on the basis of that, he couldn't get into the starting 11 when the season began.
Now Enciso, closed down by Diaz. Liverpool know if they score the next goal in this, well, they got 1 foot in their 26th EFL Cup quarter-final. Matches will be played a week before Christmas, and then the semis in January. Liverpool would love to be amongst it again, and at the moment they're going to be. Lamptey again, he's having much to say down that Brighton right. The ball might squirt anywhere here. Nicely done by Enciso to tee it up. Just wide from Gruda. And we know all about his quality on that left foot. Might he have done better here?
Well, it's got a lot of bend on it, but it starts too wide. But again, it was good play by Lamptey, but also good refereeing. He was about to give a free kick, and then he allowed the advantage. And Enciso set up Gruda. What a start to the second half we've had here.
Yeah, really good stuff. Liverpool grabbing the lead. Brighton so close to an equaliser, but for the save of Jarosz. Adingra. Yeah, Bradley was trying to look innocent, but Darren Bond gives the free kick. Good Brighton pressure here.
Ball played down the side. Well, he does give him a double-handed push. Yeah, it's a foul, no question about it. Conor Bradley.
Seen it 3 or 4 times now. I quite like how well drilled the young Liverpool players are. They say their piece and then turn and move and get back on with the job. What can Enciso do? Nothing. Not there anyway. Adingra. So unlucky not to equalise.
He'll be disappointed because he got himself into a good position, coming round the back while Lamptey's breaking forward down the right-hand side. He gets a good leap in, it's a good connection, he's trying to head it back into the right area. Wasn't right in the corner. Once he headed that, he thought he'd scored.
I suppose if you're being picky in terms of being a top finisher, you'd say in the corner he does score. That would be very picky. Here he is, Adingra. And Moder. Well, that nearly dipped somewhere interesting, and Jarosz turning it over the crossbar.
Well, he was looking for the forward pass rather than the shot. Just overhit it, everyone gives up on it, but Jarosz took no chances. Haven't really seen that much of Moder in the game so far. Central midfield player who's a hard worker, can pick out a pass as well.
Adds height in these situations too. And he is indeed the target, and he does indeed get up and nearly create something. Liverpool struggling to get it clear. And Van Hecke was the one putting himself about, and then he ends up blocking Gruder's shot.
And in the end, it was a great defensive block, wasn't it, by Van Hecke?
Liverpool trying to get a counter-attack going, but Diaz gives it away. And then wins it back. Jarosz again delaying. Must be the sea air.
Well, what goalkeepers do that outfield players don't always do, they take such a big back lift to get their kick away, and it gives the attacker time just to make that half a yard to get a slide challenge in or get a block in.
Yeah, everything does feel like it's a slow motion replay, doesn't it? The first touch and then, as you say, the big back lift. It's definitely a night when it's worth closing those down at both ends. Here is Endo. And Gakpo, the goal scorer. Van Hecke. Here's Igor. There was a time when left-sided centre-halves of his sort of class seemed in short supply, but quite a few of them knocking about now. Strangely, the player that seems to be in shorter supply is the finisher at a certain level, that sort of lower Premier League level.
This is what I was talking about. Lamptey was high up the field, so when the ball's played back into that right-back space, it's the midfield player, Viva, that's going back in there, and he comes inside here, Gakpo, and just bends it into a really good area. What a shot that is. It's actually Murder that ended up at right back. Well, we've seen him play at centre forward in the past. We've seen him play on the right-hand side, one of a number of attacking midfield players, but today he's very much on the left-hand side. He'd have been proud of that shot.
He wouldn't have minded it. 3-2 in the League Cup this season as well for Gakpo.
The great thing about this competition is that some managers will pick slightly different sides, but you know that the players coming into the team have got something to prove, so they're going to play with great intensity, great drive. That's been the case here tonight.
And there's so much quality running throughout the squad as well. Great academy system too. I was there at Anfield that night. Liverpool played Derby in the EFL Cup and named a team with a lot of players the fans weren't even that aware of, and they were still terrific. Klopp was so proud that night. Great pride in the final of this competition last season as well. Of course, described it as his greatest achievement, that in many ways. Here's Diaz. You remember, Stuart, coming through as a young player, how important it is that people have confidence in you. Liverpool give it away. More on that in a moment.
Yeah, my second ever game was Arsenal against Liverpool at Anfield in a quarter-final replay. And that's when it was always the best 11 that played every week. And it was a competition that I think Liverpool went on to win that year.
Quite a baptism of fire, that one.
Played it right back against the late, brilliant Ray Kennedy.
Here's Lamptey. Trying to work the angle, big deflection. The shot from Gruder goes behind for a corner. I'd like to know where that initial shot was going.
It takes a couple of deflections. First of all, off Robertson, then the midfield player. Certainly got a good left foot, hasn't he, Gruder?
Really good solid header away, and that's a poor touch. And now Liverpool can break. Diaz nicked it away. Gakpo up here in support. They've got so many options. This for two. And Szoboszlai can't convert. And will Liverpool look back and regret that moment? Massive overload, and they couldn't make it work. It's a good save from Steele. And Liverpool might make them pay now. Appeals for a hand there as Robertson tried to slip that forward. Chance gone, Stuart.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Gakpo made the most of the situation. He's the man that had the chance at the end, Szoboszlai. But when they break here, they win the ball back. It's a very good win. Now 3 versus 1, and he lifts the ball up here. So it takes more time to get his touch, Szoboszlai, and in doing so still gets that little bit closer to him. Just can't lift it up, and it's the trailing hand once again that makes the save. We saw it at the other end when Lamptey had his chance. But that should have been 2-0, no doubt about it.
Sometimes you can have too many options, and in a strange way, if Diaz nicks that and runs through on his own, he might have scored. But here comes Gakpo again. Can they make the most of it this time? You'd better believe they can. It's Gakpo again. Liverpool surging on the south coast.
Well, he thought about the previous chance where he passed it with the outside of his boot and thought this time that's not going to be the case. I have to see it again, but question the goalkeeper's position, because it was obvious that he was going to try and go in at the near post. Lamptey just took too long to make a decision. Van Hecker backs off and backs off. There's only one place he can hit it, and that's into the near post, and still probably gives him too much. Lamptey was going to let the ball run across him, but he didn't have a chance to do that. And there's a lot of space at that near post, and he takes it. Gakpo, again, hitting through the back of the ball with power. Good finish, but I have to question the goalkeeper's position. And Lamptey just needs to get his body in front of Gakpo there. A couple of bad moments for Lamptey, who's had a good game up until now.
When you see Gakpo in this mood, he looks almost unplayable in that final third. 4 in 2 in the EFL Cup this season.
Interesting to see what sort of reception McAllister gets off the Brighton fans. He was brilliant for Brighton.
Well, we can hear. Endo makes way. Morton as well. What a moment for Trey Unyoni. First senior appearance for him. Great moments for these young players. Dream, of course, of getting on the score sheet. Here goes Szoboszlai. Not a bad first touch, that, from Unyoni. Here's Gakpo. Bradley was closing in, Diaz too. And suddenly Liverpool are in the mood, and these feel like very dangerous moments now for Brighton. It could be done and dusted in the next 5 minutes here.
Well, it could be. Nice ball played into the box. Bradley coming round the back. Diaz slices wide, but they're growing in confidence now, Liverpool. Looks as though he's going to play through the middle. There he is, closing the ball down here.
Talked about as the next young Liverpool star. All accounts brilliant in training, and since he's been pushed towards the first team. You know, when they start to talk about you in the papers, you're close, and here he is tonight. Zimbabwe-born Trey Unyoni. Came from the Leicester Academy, and here he is. Szoboszlai. It was interesting the way that one counter-attack that failed paved the way for the one that succeeded, as you rightly said. Gakpo was having none of that second time round, but he did the right thing.
I think you said it perfectly. He almost had too many options on the first one, 3 against 1. So he's a bit tentative with what he did. But the second one, Van Hecker made his mind up by backing off and backing off so he could get the shot away.
Bradley was running in behind there. Stupinian did well defensively. Changes coming for Brighton now. Jack Hinshelwood, the 19-year-old, is going to be introduced, and Joel Veltman as well. Hinshelwood's been a regular in the Premier League. See Moda making way. Van Hecker as well.
Saw that Mo Salah was getting ready to come on as well.
Yeah, he is down there. Diaz. Here's Gakpo. Changes like that do always fascinate me. If Mo Salah comes on for the last quarter of the game, but I suppose the thing you must never underestimate is that players love to play. You wouldn't mind coming on and grabbing a League Cup goal. Were Jota fit, I suspect Salah might remain on the bench. Chiesa out as well. Harvey Elliott, another who's not available, so takes a bit away, doesn't it?
I have to say, Mo Salah this season looks like a very happy man again, playing football with a smile on his face. He's playing well. He seems to have a great relationship with Arne Slot. Not so sure he always saw eye to eye with Jurgen Klopp towards the end of Klopp's reign.
Knocked up by Veltman. Brighton are not done for here. But they've got to score the next goal, then they've got to find another. In a way, they've got to do to Liverpool what Wolves did to them. We won't leave it quite that late. I think Darwin Núñez is preparing to come on as well for Liverpool.
He's looking across. I think he knows he's coming off. He wasn't too pleased either, was he, there?
Well, he's on a hat-trick. Second time. Scored twice against West Ham. He's enjoying himself here, but what a contribution, Stuart, in this second half, particularly from Gakpo.
Well, that completely changed the game, didn't it? Just after half-time, full-back out of position. Comes inside, the second one. Full-back again out of position because he'd won the ball off of him. Races forward and a very good finish.
And here he is, a happy Mo Salah. Just what you want when you're a Brighton fan or player. 20 minutes to go. You bring these two on. Szoboszlai makes way for Núñez. And here the Liverpool fans already starting with the Mo Salah songs. Robertson delivers the free kick. Here goes Enciso. Brighton are not out of this yet. Adingra. Beautifully done against Bradley. Still going here. Adingra floats it deep. Great defending, Robertson.
Well, he looks a good player, doesn't he, Adingra, when he's running with the ball. Skips past Bradley so easily here. A couple of little step overs. I thought he might go for goal himself and just hit it across the goalkeeper, but he just floats it up. And Robertson, round the back, put himself into a good position and just did enough to take it away from Ferguson. Diaz has gone out to the left-hand side where Gakpo was playing.
Here's Enciso. Well, they've won a free kick and Enciso will fancy this. And once again, Curtis Jones makes his point to Darren Bond.
Oh, difficult to see from that replay. I think he does stick his leg out, Curtis Jones. Hinchelwood, the player that was brought down, his first bit of action.
Now this is a chance. I think he's taking this, just shook his head. He fancies it, and you can see why. Gruder to one side, Jones is the worm. Then Ciso to miscue it straight into the wall.
Actually, set plays have been poor, haven't they? A couple of free kicks into the box. That one there, bad as it could possibly be, really, hitting halfway up the wall.
Always looks worse when you've waved everyone else away. There's Nunez. Adingra. Giving Bradley a real test, isn't he?
Oh, he's got a corner out, has he? No, he's just given the ball back.
And the crowd wanted the corner, referee gave the goal kick. That Jarosz save looms large as a massive moment in the game at 0-1, just after the Gakpo, the first goal, to deny Adingra. Little turning points in matches like this. Gakpo will get all of the headlines, but Jarosz deserves at least a subheading. Here's Inyoni. Played through again, and curved just wide. But he is a player, isn't he? Trey Inyoni made his senior debut against Southampton in the FA Cup last season and continues that journey here against Brighton. It's a long way away, but there's a lot to like about it. Not least the confidence.
Well, here comes this, what I would say is their star man when he's playing well, Mitoma. For Brighton.
Ruder's races run and Ciso's too. Toma and Welbeck, the two biggest cards really that Hutzler can play.
And you have to admire Danny Welbeck. It's been a great comeback, hasn't it, at Brighton? Looks as though his career was going nowhere. He's had so many injuries. Didn't really play that much at Arsenal.
Liverpool looking for a third. Every defender seemed to miss it. Liverpool want the penalty. They thought there was a shove. One thing I would say is that Darren Bond had a good view of that. No help for him tonight. Now Mitoma at the other end. Can he turn that into a massive moment? Well, he's won a corner.
Well, he's a real live wire, Mitoma. Here's the penalty shout at the other end. Well, it's a little bit reckless, you would say, from Veltman. Certainly wasn't running on the angle of the ball.
Did feel like the moment, though, he felt the two hands on Diaz was already looking to go, and that might be what Darren Bond saw. It's headed back across from where it came, but easily taken by Jarosz. It certainly falls into the you've seen them given category, though. I don't think it's one of those that would have been overturned on VAR. That's, I think, what you've always got to ask yourself. Had it been given, though, I think it would have stayed. Is that all fair, Stuart?
I think that's absolutely right. He certainly obstructed Diaz, didn't he?
Great touch from Inyoni, but it was a risky one. Here goes Estupinian. Mitoma right into the game straight away as he stumbles. Goal kick.
Well, you said that Bradley was tested by Adingra. He's going to be tested by Mitoma now. No foul.
One of so many gifted Japanese creative players all around Europe. What kind of a run can they have at the next World Cup? I wouldn't be surprised if they go close and building towards it. Wouldn't that be a thing?
I remember years ago you and I doing a few J-League matches.
Here's Mitoma. Breaks kindly for Ferguson. Now Adingra switching to that right-hand side. Mitoma. Stupinian deep. Adingra with another good contact, but it's a comfortable save for Jaros.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was going for goal. I thought it had a lot of spin on it. I think as he was heading it back down to the likes of Ferguson in the 6-yard box, just got it slightly wrong, but he's certainly going to have a big 12 minutes, I think, plus any added on time. Mitoma, such a key player for Brighton when he's playing well.
Just kept in play by Diaz. McAllister goes over. Over 100 appearances for Brighton. It's interesting, you were asking what kind of reception he'd get, and it seemed quite non-committal to me.
It did, didn't it? He had that great relationship with Caicedo in a very good season for Brighton under De Zerbi. To the semi-final of the FA Cup. Lost to Manchester United.
This would be 12 wins from 14 under Arne Slot. Almost immaculate start. Giving it away here though, and it opens up. Again Jaros with a good save, but it's prodded home by Simon Adingra. And Brighton are right back in this. Setting up the grandstand finish.
Dear oh dear. What an error by that man there. Kwanzaa. Ball comes out to him. Starts to go back in field, then plays the ball back. Plays it straight to Ferguson. First shot. I think the goalkeeper should do a lot better. But that, he's onto it very quickly. Adingra, that's a good finish as well. He's got to get his foot high, he's got to keep it down. Uses his studs in the end. It's a great finish.
Really well improvised finish. I always say that about Brazilian players, that they learn when they're young to finish with every single part of their body and in every single way, and Adingra adjusted well, really unorthodox finish. It was necessary. If Jaros had challenged for it, flung himself forward and been braver, he might have got a free kick there with the studs showing. But it's all happening so quickly.
He probably should have done better with the first shot when it came in. Let it get that far away from his body into a dangerous area. But you said it on 2 or 3 occasions. Brighton are still in this, and they certainly are now. They've got that bit of momentum now, particularly with this player coming on.
Yeah, he's changed it. What about that for an arm wrestle? Bradley and Estupinian. Here's Mitoma. Takes up such good positions.
The substitutes for Liverpool haven't really got involved so far, have they? Nunez and Salah. Players we talked about coming on, and sort of players you wouldn't want to see if you're Brighton when you're 2-0 down.
Yeah, they felt like almost luxury changes at the time, but now they might have an important role to play. All that Hertzler and Brighton will want is to create at least one more chance here, and for it to fall to the right player. Adingra took his chance really well. Three second-half goals here. It's a 2-2 draw here at Brighton-Liverpool last season. That's what Brighton are dreaming of right now, and take us to penalties. The referee plays a good advantage there, and he only wanted the free kick. Salah. Well, for Jones, he gets a second chance, deflected, great save still. Then he slips over on his line, but he stuck out a right hand there and kept Brighton in the tie. Still pressure though from Liverpool, and it's there. Luis Diaz surely sends them to the quarter-final. Steele made one really good save, but beaten for the second time at his near post. Liverpool respond to conceding, and surely now Liverpool have done enough.
Now this one I can understand how he's beaten at the near post, because Diaz is starting to come across the field. And there's the first effort that was deflected. He makes a good save there, then as you said, slips over. But Diaz, as he starts to come across the field, you think he might be bending it into the far corner, but he hits it maybe between the legs of one of the Brighton defenders. And then Steele was beaten at his near post. There's the slip. Does really well to keep hold of it here, Diaz. Drops his shoulder, yet it goes between the legs of Veltman. Goalkeeper would have been unsighted. And everybody in the ground probably thought it was going to that far corner, and then he bends it in, or places it in off the near post. Very good finish from Diaz.
Just perfection, isn't it? Well, maybe it's not done. Final 5 minutes, here comes Mitoma. Mitoma to charge. It's closed down excellently there.
Well, he had the beating of Bradley. Goes past him a bit too easily here. Bradley's trying to get back, then realises he doesn't want to make a tackle. And Quansah, realising that Mitoma's going to go onto his left foot and try and get his shot away, gets a very good block in.
That mistake will still be weighing very heavily on Jarell Quansah. It's tempting to say aside from that, he's had a really good game, but unfortunately there is no aside from that. That will be remembered. Here's Veltman. Stupinian on the volley with the cross. Now Mitoma. They have to keep believing. That time Welbeck was the target. Lamptey is surely nudged over. Brighton have 3 minutes, but they have a free kick. And somehow they need to score twice.
Well, when you see Lamptey breaking forward with the ball and getting crosses in and doing all the attacking side of the game, you can understand, you see his qualities, and you think, why does he not play in the team every week? But you see he's had his defensive problems at the other end, and that's probably just keeping him out of the side on a regular basis, Lamptey.
Hooked in by Lamptey. Been a good game, really good second half. Had a little bit of everything. Gakpo's contribution. And Adingra finding slightly surprising goal that Brighton pulled back. Fabulous save from Jarosz. And Diaz feeling at least like he's just sealed it for Liverpool. Good look as well at that young man and Yoni.
Salah trying to make the run round the back. Almost a very good ball to him. Hasn't had that many touches, has he, Mo Salah, since he's been on? But what a good job Arne Slot is doing. As you said earlier on in the commentary, it seemed like a very difficult job taking over from such a brilliant manager in Jurgen Klopp. The fans loved him, the players in the main loved him, but he's really done well.
Nearly reached the end of his 14th game, and this version of Liverpool conceded just 8 times in nearly 14. If they keep it under 10, they're going through here. Here's Mitoma. There's half a chance here. It's deflected and in! Lamptey! Brighton still have hope. The journey to the quarter-finals continues to be a rocky one for Liverpool. What a conclusion we're going to have now.
Well, here it is. First touch is good. Doesn't hit it with too much power. Gomez closes the ball down, so does Quansah. Diaz gave up on it there as he was closing down, and it comes off the centre-half's heel, back across to the other side of the goal. He's a bit unlucky, of course he is, but now, added on time, this is going to be very, very exciting here.
And it would have to be Quansah, wouldn't it? After the season he's had, the night he's had. He's bringing Konate on. Still waiting to see how many minutes are going to be added here. Feels cruel if it's going to be Konate for Quansah, but I suspect it is.
Or just another defender, it may be, with so little time left. But I'm never sure it's the right thing to do. A defender comes on, he's not up to the pace of the game, he hasn't had much of a warm-up. He's going to have to play in the most intense 5 minutes.
Feel for him a bit, especially given that the last moment, it's not an own goal. Lamptey's shot was on target, and it is unfortunate. Anyway, Konate on. 5 added minutes, we're already into the second of them. Can Brighton conjure one final chance? Wouldn't that be something? Second half, they haven't really been in. They're still within a goal. Liverpool looked in total control at 2-0. And then Welbeck, half a turn. Did Konate foul him? He did. Goes back to your point about not necessarily being up with the pace of the game.
Well, Welbeck got the wrong side of him. Now Welbeck is holding the shirt of Konate. It should be a free kick the other way, but the referee can't see that because he's got the two players. You can only see the backs of the two players, but it's Danny Welbeck that was holding the shirt of Konate. It's been unlucky there, the substitute.
Now it's floated in. Liverpool just about hook it clear. There was half a claim for a penalty. It was well done by Diaz to win that throw for Liverpool. Helps them run down the clock that little bit more.
Well, that save that he made, be a winning save. He certainly started it off, didn't he, with those 2 goals. Brilliant from Gakpo.
And Nunez, more importantly, they have the ball now. It's not going to go to the corner. Too much pride for that. Liverpool don't do that at Brighton. Maybe should have done.
Good defending from Igor. Had the pace to match Nunez and then the strength to beat him.
I mean, it's not as if there's any history of Liverpool not going to the corner flag and giving the ball away and something happening, but we won't go there right now. Very different surroundings, very different era.
This is where the fans sometimes get frustrated. They want the ball played forward quickly.
It's played forward quickly now, and it's where it's going to end up. Flags up. That was the one thing they couldn't do.
And it's Mitoma that just made his run a fraction too early.
Final minute of the added 5. Can they craft anything? Second game in a row that Liverpool have conceded twice.
That's not a good kick from Jarosz, because it just means the ball's going to come straight back at him.
And here it comes. Shove in the back there from Konate on Welbeck. Brighton might just get one final chance, at least to get it forward. And that's where it has to go quickly. Igor. It's a bit aimless that from Igor. Miscued clearance again from Jarosz. It was goalless at half-time, but the second half truly caught fire. 2 from Gakpo, putting Liverpool seemingly in control. Then Adingra pulled one back after an error from Quansah. Luis Diaz made it 3-1 with a clever near-post finish. Then Lamptey with a deflection off Quansah for 3-2, but Brighton weren't quite able to create that final chance they needed. They conjured up some game for us, but it's Liverpool who marched through to the quarter-final. Just had that little bit of quality here as it finishes Brighton Hove Albion 2, Liverpool 3.